Opening a ministry is not because you want to open a ministry. Opening a ministry is not because you can pray. Opening a ministry is not because you can see. Opening a ministry is God Himself directing you, speaking to you, my child, my son, my daughter. This is what I want you to do. Opening a ministry is not your own decision. It's God's decision in your life. It's God's mandate. Because ministry is a call to serve. It's not a call to it's not a business. It's a call to serve. You are called to serve God and to serve humanity. You don't have decision of your own, you don't have power of your own, but God in turn is leading you. He's the one that is in control. He's the one that is in charge of your life. He's the one that will tell you what to do, and you do it according to the way He has told you to do. So when you talk about opening a ministry, some people have some decision or motives of opening a ministry. Some people open a ministry because they have quarrel over where they were before. They have quarrel with their GO. Some people open a ministry because they feel that after the Bible says when 2 or 3 are gathered, I mean they are mixed. Some people open a ministry because they feel like it's a business. But I'm here to tell you something. Opening a ministry is not your own decision. Opening a ministry is not because you can pray. Opening a ministry is not because you can see. Opening a ministry is not because you so much love God. Opening a ministry is a mandate. It's God's own mandate in your life. It's God's own decision in your life. So some people jump into the ministry because it's having misunderstanding with the Jew where he was serving, and he will decide to go and open his own ministry. Not minding that ministry, like I said, God have to talk to you, God have to speak to you, God have to tell you what to do. Because when you talk about opening a ministry, it's like a leadership. You are leading people to a particular place. It happened in the life of Abraham in the book of Genesis chapter 12, when God said to him, leave everything, leave your kindred, and go to a place I will show you. Abraham went. It happened to Jeremiah in the book of Jeremiah chapter 1, when God called Jeremiah. He said to him, anywhere the sole of your feet will touch, you will dominate. It happened to so many men of God, even to Moses. When Moses was in the bush, God spoke to him. He said, remove your shoe, your sandals, for where you are is a holy ground. All this happened then, and even up to today, God is still speaking. When God called any man, any woman for a leadership, God will talk to you. God will talk to you. I mean a leadership, not leader under a leader. Because in ministry, there are pastor of pastors. There are pastors who are under a pastor. But I'm talking about a pastor who is the general pastor, whom is having other pastors under him. So when God called you to be a leader, God will surely talk to you. Tell me any man of God who is a leader that doesn't have any dialogue or covenant with God. Even a woman of God. Anyone that God calls, God will talk to him or her. God will tell you, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. You are a leader of leaders. You are pastor of pastors. You are not doing it because you want to do it, but God has given you the grace to do it. And now you who is under that man of God must walk. Of course, you are walking under the grace the man is having. Now, tomorrow someone will say to you, after you can pray, after you can prophesy, after you can see, why not come and open your own ministry? And sometimes this thing happen as a result of the elders in the church. They will call you and say to you, after you can pray, will help you and open a place. Leave that man of God. He's always shouting at you. He's always talking to you. No. You don't run away from the ministry. You are under a leadership, under a man of God. You just leave the church because you can pray. Without hearing from God, rather the elders are telling you, leave the church. God will hire a place for you, will take good care of you. You find out that when you leave that place, you have left the grace. Those things will not happen again. Those prayers and miracles and all that you have seen will not happen again because you was under the covenant that man of God, that your leader is having with God. Some people are having covenant with God, covenant of riches, covenant of, that's where you see anointing of riches, anointing for prosperity, anointing for revival. So many anointing that God can bless a leader with. And when God has blessed the man and you are under that man of God and God is using you, you will not understand that you are under the grace that man of God is having with God. And tomorrow you jump out. After all, I can pray. You go and open your own ministry. And now you cannot see those powers. You cannot see those equipment. You cannot see those anointing again. They cannot flow. And because you want to cover the shame, they are not telling you, come, let me take you to a certain place. So that they will give you power. That when you speak, everything will happen. When you pray, things will happen. When you turn your hand like this, everything will turn around. No, don't do that. Because why? God did not call you to open a ministry. God did not call you to open a ministry. You don't need to do that. Because God did not unction you. Equipment of God is not upon your life. It's upon your leader, upon your pastor, upon your GO. Go back to him. Wait until God will speak to you. Open a ministry. Don't just jump. If you leave a ministry without having peace with that man of God, it is not even good. Any ministry you want to leave, you must go to a man of God and say, please, I'm going. Pray for me. Even if the man wants to curse you, no problem. Let him curse. Let him pray against you, no problem. But tell him, please, Papa, Mama, I'm going. I don't want to stay again. Tell them. Don't just run away from ministry. Because why? Altar can kill. Because why? Pulpit can kill. So everyone is not called to open a ministry. Everyone is not called to open a ministry. Some other people open a ministry because they feel it's a business opportunity. I tell you something. The real people whom God had called are running away from the calling. Because why? It's a great task. It's not a business center. It's a call for service. It's a call for service. It's a call for sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot. The real people who are genuinely called by God are running away because it's a great task. A task that you don't have decision of your own. A task that you are praying for people. You are crying to heaven for their revival, for their restoration, for their healing. Sometimes you even pray, after praying, those people that you pray for, they will turn against you. What do? You keep on going. A task that even people you pray for, they will turn against and be criticizing you. What do? You go on. A task that you can pray for someone now and the person will get instant healing and they'll still turn around and say, here, you are demonic. You are using demonic power to pray for them. You pray for them, with fasting and prayers. Some are dry fasting. You pray. You sacrifice the Lord. At the end, God will answer. But yet, they will come around and they will start to gossip you. They will call you all sorts of names. It's a great task. Opening a ministry, being a leader is a great task. When you watch the life of Moses, what happened to Moses? A lot happened to him. He passed through a lot. He was leading rebellious people. Some of them will murmur. Some of them will criticize him. Some of them will talk against him. Some of them will say to him, look at you. You have brought us here. You should have left us where we are eating cucumber. Like some will tell you in your church, you pray for me. You say it will come to pass. Yet I have not even seen it. Last year you said by this time next year, I will buy a car. And yet, this is the end of the year. I have not even seen the car. As if you, the man of God, is the one that will bring the car. It's what you saw that you have spoken. That does not mean that God is lying. Neither do you lie. No. It is a task. You may talk like that and it will not happen exactly when you say it. And people will come against you. That does not mean that you're not called by God. It is a task. Opening a ministry is a task, is a mandate upon your life. It's not your own decision. It's God's own decision in your life. It's God in action in your life. But if you are not called to open a ministry and you jump into it, it's not the best. It's not the best. So opening a ministry is not what you just decide to do. God have to talk to you. God have to tell you what to do. And now you walk with Him, He keep on directing you. Because if God did not tell you what to do, when the time of wilderness comes, you will not know where to fall back on. You won't know where to fall back on. So if you have opened a ministry and God have not spoken to you, please, I want you to go back to God and talk to God. Make sure that God is telling you to open a ministry. So what am I trying to say? There's no leader that God will call and God will not dialogue with you. God will talk to you. That is why when you see a leader whom God has spoken to, whom God is talking to, no matter what you are pushing him or her around, you don't even care because he believes in the Supreme. He believes in Jesus who is talking to him or her. He believes that in that divine who is always directing her. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do it. But when God is not talking to you, you're already blind and you lead others into the pit. Let it not be your portion. If God did not call you to open a ministry, close that ministry. Close the ministry. And go back to God. And talk to God. And let Him direct you. Let Him direct you. Let Him talk to you. So that you know what you're doing. God bless you. Till I come your way next time, keep looking up to Jesus. Bye.